like normal. It's made out of this really thin kind of sheet metal that flexes and bends kind of like this,
Okay.
and it has a
Okay.
texture. It has a texture on it that allows the filament to really like dig into it to grab hold. The flex part of it means that when your print is done, instead of having to use something like one of these scrapers and kind of chisel your print off, you can just so like if she had just finished printing, I could pull this up and then flex the sheet and it would pop the print right off. You don't have to like have any special
Oh, yeah,
tools.
okay. Gotcha.
So it
Okay.
may, it,
That's
it,
awesome.
it makes life a lot easier. And also an added benefit for the most part, I mean it's not like it's a huge deal, but because that PI sheet is a lot thinner than a glass bed, you get a little bit more build room, a little more height. It's only by a couple of millimeters, but that might make all the difference in the world if you're maxing out your print size and get up there to the top and realize, oh, you didn't compensate for the glass bed.
The largest thing you've ever printed in a single go?
Uh, in a single go, I
Yeah,
printed.
like single object, not like, composite, like
Okay,
combining stuff.
so we were talking about Ninja Turtles earlier, and
Yeah, yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
so so the largest thing that I printed in a single go is a replica of Shredder's helmet from the 1990 movie. So I have a full size Shredder helmet that I printed on my large printer. Um,
Okay, that's fucking cool.
yeah, I still need to like
How long did that take?
uh not as long as you would think because there's not a lot of detail stuff, so it didn't have to do it. It basically just had to make a lot of circles. But it still took over 20 hours. But I mean, I that Mewtwo skull that I printed was way smaller and took 40 hours, but
Oh my God.
it was so intricate with details. Um,
I think that's one of the things that terrifies me the most about 3D printing is that you have these enormous long prints, like 40, 44 hours or
yeah.
whatever. Like, it takes like one little something or other to be
Wh-
off for it to go wrong, and
uh,
then the whole thing's gone,
Yep,
right?
or a little power flicker. Shut your power off for a little bit. And everybody's like, oh, that's why I got to have a printer with power loss. Well, I'm sorry, but if you're using PEI sheets, if your power's off for more than a couple minutes and your bed cools, that sheet releases your print. And so you couldn't start it back if you wanted to.
Oh
Because
God.
now some glass beds will still hold that print on there. I had a print that sat on a glass bed for 3 days because I couldn't get it off. So uh, you might be able to resume on that one, but on these PI sheets, forget it because they release the print sometimes too early. The minute that the print stops, give it like 2 minutes to drop a couple degrees, and you'll hear as it's letting go of that print. So the battery backup. I mean, I have my machines on a battery backup, but like I said, it takes about 15 minutes of those machines still running on that battery backup for the battery backup to die. So, I mean, the battery backups are meant more for like on a computer, like saving your work. Like if your power goes out, it won't shut your computer down. You can still have time to like save your work and stuff. But I have one of the largest UPS, backup batteries, and uh, it'll let the printer run for like another 10 or 15 minutes. But if the power doesn't come back on during that time, like it's just a countdown to failure. So it is hard. It is hard to put a print on there and be well. I printed a 2 foot tall Ninja Turtle. It was in multiple pieces and I assembled it. So he's actually 50% scale. He's like half scale. But I printed a 2 foot tall Ninja Turtle of Raphael from the 1990 movie. He's huge. He weighs a little over 12 pounds. And total took me like a week and a half to print out all the parts and assemble it. And that was back when I only had one printer.
What was the like first printer you ever had?
So the very first printer that I ever had was a small resin printer, the Mars 2 Pro, and because my whole thing was I wasn't planning on getting into 3D printing. I was still gonna stream and do gaming, and I